Hi, welcome to another Pywarriors video. In this video, I am going to be talking about creating the featured section and also a section to display all the items with imagination. So, without wasting any time, let's get started. First thing I need to do is to get rid of the template view. So, for that I am importing the list view here, and we need to get all the blocks to display in the front of the website. So for that, list view is the better candidate. So let's change the template view to list view, and then we have to add the model name there so that list view knows which model we are importing. So here it's the blog post. Then we pass the context object name. This is the name of the object which we are referring in the template view. So you can see that in a bit when I edit the template. And then I am changing the original blocks to featured blocks so that we can display all the 4 featured blocks at the top and then all the blocks in the bottom. And I'm also paginating it by 10 blocks. So for that I just need to give that variable a value. I'm giving it a 10, and then I'm going to define a get query set function. So I have earlier a get query set there, and I removed that for the sake of using template view. But now that we are using list view, we can use the get query set function. So here the query set is uh, all the blog posts which are posted. So I filter that by is posted status. So blog post dot objects dot filter is posted is true. I don't want to display all the blogs irrespective of their posted status, so that we can post a blog or not. If something happens, we can hide the blog by just changing that variable to false. And I need that to be ordered by created date so that I can list the latest blocks at the top. So I'm ordering it by the reverse order of the created date so that I can get the top latest blocks in the top. So I'm writing a try catch exception, and but I think that's not necessary, but for the sake of uh, removing the errors, I'm doing that. I'm changing the query set to none if there is no blog posts there or some error happens. And then I need to return the query set so that the get query set function can work. Here you can see it's displaying all the blocks in the top part which we were reserved for the featured section. So now let's move on to editing the HTML file. Here let's change that block variable to featured blocks so that we can get the 4 featured blocks at the top. Then we need to add a similar section like the top in the bottom part for all the blocks. So I'm trying to loop through all the blocks here. So for that I will add a section just like the earlier one. Section. So I'm using emmet here to auto complete that, and we need a container, and inside that we can use the same section like the above. So just write a for loop to loop through the blocks there. For blocks in blog in blocks. Info tag is added, and then we can copy the above section and paste it here. So the individual block section is the same as that of the featured block section, so we don't need to change anything here. So since we are using the same variable block there, we can just copy and paste that inside there. So we have pasted the block section also. So before that we need to have a columns columns div there, because we are using column of 3 size inside the uh, for loop. So the structure of Bulma is like that. So when if we reload the page, we can see that the top section comprises of the 4 featured blocks, and the bottom section has all the blocks there, and we need to paginate that section also, and it is now displaying rather not ideal condition, so we can change that by adding the multi-line column. So I am looking through the documentation here. So here it is multi-line. So we can use that to define a multi-line column. So since a column has more than 4 components, it will be displayed in a vertical fashion now. So we can have a multi-line column here. So it's all working beautifully. Now we can add a title to the all item sections and the featured item section, so that we can differentiate between the featured items and all items. So here I am using the title class from Burma. So the class name is title, I think. Let's double check that. So there is the title tag and its title. So we can have the size by specifying is 1 is 2 is 3, like that. So we can have a 3 size title, I think would be better. 3 size title, so that is the default size also. So we can have all items there, and then we can now define the featured block section also, putting a line down there. And then I'm using the same code for featured blocks also. Featured items, okay. Now that we have the titles, now we can look into the pagination section. Everything is looking nice, so let's move on to paginating the items first. Here you can see the pagination code. I'm going through this section fairly fast, and I'm copying the pagination HTML code from the Bulma, and then placing the checks for the pages. And you can see I'm going here pretty fast. If you want to check the code, you can pause and watch the video. But here there is nothing much to say, and it's all the template code from the Django website. You can refer the documentation if you need to, but or if you can pause the video and look into that. So we can specify the pages there, and I'm adding a class for the current page, and so let's now go in and add a couple of blog posts so that the pagination would work. So I added a lot of pages here, blocks here, and now I'll be placing the code after the all items section, and I'll put in a column, and inside that column I will put that pagination code, because then only it will look nicer, and it will be placed under the all items session. So for that I am adding a column there. Yeah, now the structure is fine, but there is some issues, I think. So let's dive into the code and check what's happening there. mm, so I have not put the page variable there. That's the reason why it's not navigating to the correct page. So also I need to put in the same tag there also. Page equal to, so now let's look if it's working or not. Yeah, it's working. So there is we have paginated it using 10, but the display is capping at 4 in each row. So it would be better if we paginate it by kind of like 8. So we can paginate it by 8, then it would be nicer to look at, because you know it would be 4 each. So now the page is looking nice, and we have a working pagination here. In the second page, the rest of the post will be displayed, so that's not a problem. Now let's change the logo and the menu of the site. So it's now displaying the default logo from the Bulma site. Let's change that and use our own logo. So here I'm changing the source there, and putting the path of the logo. Make sure you put your logo inside the images folder inside the static directory, and I have put the image there. So let's see, it's working, but the image is kind of skewed, so I'll make some changes to the width there. So it's kind of like, yeah, the 28 would be fine, and then we can now change the menu there. It's showing in the default menu from the Bulma website, where I copy pasted the code. So let's change that. So let's quickly change the menu headings there. So I'm adding a couple of headings there. now the headings are changed, but our logo is still skewed because we have not edited the HTML file here. So we can change that here also. So you can test it by editing the code inside the browser, and if everything works fine, you can update the HTML. So that's all for now. If you like this video, give it the thumbs up and also tell me your suggestions in the comments. Also, please do subscribe to my channel. It goes a long way in motivating me to create more videos like this. So see you in the next video. Bye.